I get so frustrated by the time I get this audio working. Uh, I guess it's working now. I don't know. Anyway, a quick rant here. A couple of quick things. One, I want to talk about our university system and how we're losing a lot of income due to the fact that the major universities now are setting up sister universities in China and India. Now, each one of these students, the foreign students that come here, and we have over 100,000 of them a year come into this country, they bring a ton of money into this country, and they bring foreign currency that we are in deep need of. And they're not only to the big universities, and we have the best universities that we got. I mean, whether we're talking about Berkeley or Stanford or Harvard or Princeton or Yale, uh, MIT. So we have the greatest university system in the world, and we draw students from all over the world. And as I said, they bring a lot of currency with them. Now by setting up these sister universities, MIT and those in India and China, it's gonna cost this country a lot of money. And these are independent universities, and they're in a business relationship, and that money won't be taxable because it's made on foreign shores. But what it hurts is the communities at these institutions, and not just the big colleges. It hurts the little guys too. I know in community colleges there's always foreign students, and everywhere up the line. University of Miami had tons of Latin American students. When I went to school in Hawaii, it had students. Foreign students. Every place I went to school, whether it was Montana, Oregon, Hawaii, Florida, they all had a nice number, and we got to rub shoulders with foreigners. But these students, what they do is they usually rent. They usually buy a car. Uh, they have to eat, so they go to restaurants in these communities. They go to fast food places in these communities. They give Americans jobs, and by these universities setting up all these sister universities, it's going to take away from that. Now, it probably won't hurt the smaller ones as much, uh, but it will hurt the larger communities where Harvard and all these schools are located. But it is another drain, another outsourcing on the American economy. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about is this everybody's commodities, commodities, commodities. We have to stay in the Middle East because we have to protect the oil. Well, let me tell you something. No matter who owns the oil, they have to sell it. The oil doesn't feed people. You can't eat oil. You have to sell it. And no matter who owns it, if we left all of them alone, there would be the same amount. As a matter of fact, there would be more oil in the system because it would free up all Iranian oil. It would allow people to go into Iraq and drill for more oil. We would have a totally open system where petroleum floated and on a free marketplace, which all these Republicans claim they want, but yet they're the ones that want us to stay over there for forever and protect our oil. Listen, the Chinese are going to bid on the oil. We're going to bid on the oil. The Chinese don't give a damn who owns the oil, who owns the resources. They've proven that time and again. They don't get involved in this crap. All they do is buy it. Well, that's all we should do. We would have had several trillion more dollars to purchase oil if that's what were going to do with it, had we not gotten in these foreign adventures over oil. We claim democracies, yet we support uh, all these foreign Saudi Arabia, no democracy. People are getting beheaded there all the time. People are getting arrested for saying the slightest thing. Women just recently got the right to drive. We say, oh, it's terrible thing that's going on in Syria. What happened in Libya? All these countries, but Syria has no oil, so we're not sure what to do there. But look what happened in Bahrain. All right, Bahrain brought the Saudi army in and to slaughter a bunch of people, and there's still such conflict in Bahrain. And why aren't we saying, oh, look at the human rights violations there? Because Bahrain's sitting on a pile of oil. Now, if we said, oh, we don't give a shit where we get our oil, let's get the hell out of there. Let's get out of the Middle East. So there's some pirates. Listen. If there's some pirates stealing some oil, then let the people that buy and sell the oil, let them provide protection for these against these pirates. These pirates don't have giant ships and air forces and all that. So let the people that supply the oil, let them worry about transporting it. So that's my second rant, because it just doesn't make sense that we should fight over resources that are going to be on the open marketplace anyway. Now look at Russia. Russia used to have the ability to shut gas off to Europe. It could be a cold winter in Europe over political crap. But now Europe has also found that they're sitting on a great deal of this shale that can be fracked, and Europe in 8 or 10 years might become totally independent of Russian gas or anybody else's gas. Gas is going down drastically. Gas is the lowest price it's been in years and years. We used to worry about trying to talk a port into allowing these liquid container ships in that bring in liquid. They liquefy the gas because it's only 1/1600th of the takes up the volume 1/1600th of it of an equal pressure in the atmosphere. Uh, because nobody wanted it because it could blow up. Now we're looking for ports that want to export this gas because we have trillions and trillions of cubic feet of it now, and enough for apparently several hundred years. Now let's just capitalism. If capitalism works, we don't need to subsidize any of these industries. Look at this damn Keystone Pipeline. The Keystone Pipeline, if it goes through, it'll cross 20,000 creeks and rivers. And who takes the risk? The United States takes all the risk. Who's going to use the oil? Europe is going to use it because it's not an oil that easily converts, is easily cracked into gas. It cracks into kerosene, which is special. The weight of the oil is what do I want to say? It's more easily used as automobile diesel engines, and that's what Europe's full of. So they said, oh, well, if what's going to happen? It's going to make us more energy dependent. Not a drop of that oil was ever intended to be sold or used in this country. And why the Obama administration and other people aren't telling you that is beyond me. We take all the risk, 20,000 creeks and rivers. All right, people lose property over eminent domain fights because of this pipeline. But if it didn't go through, then they would put a pipeline through over to Vancouver and they'd ship it to China. Well, you think China's going to buy twice as much of this as they need? Hell no, they're going to buy just the drop up to the drop of what they need. So then what China is buying would free that up for Europe. It doesn't take one drop out of the pipeline, and that's what we're talking about, the total amount of available petroleum at any one time. And that's what we're fighting. We're killing people over. It doesn't make sense. And this pipeline makes no sense. But the Republicans are going to jam it down your throat that this was going to make us all these jobs, which are all specialized jobs. These people travel all over the world and make these pipelines. They're not hiring Joe Schmo, the welder from down the street. They're not hiring him to build a damn thing, and they're not going to bring anything into these communities. They're dashing through these damn communities and being in and out of them. And what do they leave you with? A pipe that that is the best they can make, but who knows? It might crack here, something happens there, an earthquake here, and then all that oil ends up on somebody's property, in somebody's river, in somebody's creek, and so forth. So we take the hit on the environment. Canada makes the money. The big oil companies make some money, but none of it's taxable because it's all involves foreign sales of this petroleum. So let them ship it through Vancouver. Let the Canadians take the environmental risk. Let the Chinese buy it. Let the Europeans buy it from somebody else. Now, now it might hurt a few shareholders of these companies that are spending millions and millions of dollars in PAC money to try to convince you that this helps us become oil independent. It doesn't. Now, my third thing. Now that we're getting to taxpayers' money. Well, it seems this Ricketts family, Joe Ricketts, the guy that owns, well, he, the guy that owns Wrigley Stadium, that he held up the town of Mesa for 99 million bucks to try to get them by threatening to move the Cubs uh, um, preseason workout area. He's threatened to move them to Florida, and Mesa kicked in this money. Now this guy's a multi-billionaire. All right. Now what's he doing? He's asking the citizens of Chicago to kick in 150 million bucks, while at the same time he's paying a PAC to smear uh, the Democrats, saying that they're at the feeding trough. No one feeds more at the trough than these goddamn millionaires, and no one feeds with worse manners than these ball clubs. Now, there's only so many markets for so many clubs. New Jersey just knocked down a stadium they hadn't even finished paying the bonds on to build the Giants a new stadium at taxpayer expense. Now, why does this make sense? There's only so many markets. Now, each one of these things holds the town up and says, if you don't do this, well, don't pay yourself billions of dollars. Don't pay a pitcher, a guy to pick up a baseball for 50 and throw it for $50 million, or some moron in the field to catch it for $50 million. And a lot of that money now. Here's a great American sport. What are we doing? We're exporting it too. We got to go. We got to get down to Haiti. We got to get down to Cuba. Who the fuck knows where we get all these people that can handle a baseball, and we pay them huge salaries, and so a good deal of that money leaves the country. But it is ridiculous for any community to pay these billionaires so that millionaires can entertain you at $100 a seat. There shouldn't be a nickel of taxpayer money ever spent on these people. Not one nickel. So that's my rant for this morning. Thank you for everybody who stayed with me.